Many years ago, before I was working as a full-time professional speaker, I was selling training materials. This was back in my home state of Arkansas. And I got a call one Sunday from a friend of mine who was a preacher. And he had a little community church out in the country outside of Little Rock, and his name was Bill Patrick. He said, "Jim, you're preaching Sunday." And I said, "Yeah, right. Bill, I'm not a preacher and I'm not preaching Sunday." He said, "No, you're preaching Sunday. I need you." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I've got an engagement in Boston. I've got to fly out of town. I'm not going to be here Sunday. I know you. I trust you. You've met some of the people in my church. I want you to deliver the sermon on Sunday." And I said, "Gosh, what am I going to do? I don't know." He said, "Jim, just pray about it, think about it. You'll do it." And I thought, well, okay, that's kind of a loose approach to it. I need a little more structure to feel comfortable, but okay, I'll do that. So I gave it some serious thought. I did pray about it. And I thought, okay, if I'm going to deliver a sermon, what am I going to talk about? And I decided that what I was going to talk about was spiritual growth, how to grow in your own belief system and your own practicing of your belief and so forth. So that became the subject focus. And then I did something that a friend had suggested. And he said, come up with 3 points, develop 3 stories to go with the points, and then conclude. Okay? 3 points, 3 stories, 1 for each of the points, and then conclude. All right? So my 3 points were, and I can remember this vividly, because I was so worried going into it, it made a clear imprint in my mind and emotions. I said, first point, know what you believe. Figure out what it is that you actually believe. Explore the works, like the Bible or the Quran or whatever it is that you're studying. Explore the works of your beliefs and see what you really believe. Know what you believe. And I told a little story connected to that. Second, study and test and explore what you believe. Meaning, take what you believe and put it to work. Put it out in the sunlight and get some exposure to other points of view and potential criticism, and see if it stands up to the criticism. And if it doesn't, maybe you don't really believe it. Maybe you've just been reciting someone else's beliefs and you hadn't figured out your own beliefs yet. So second, explore, test, study your beliefs. Third, live your beliefs. If you believe it, it'll show up in your actions. If it's really part of you, it'll be present in your life. And so I talked about living your beliefs. And I gave a story for each of those 3 points. And then I concluded. And that speech probably had more impact than maybe 50 other speeches I had given in that time frame in my life. Because it was tightly focused. It was clearly structured so people could understand it and relate to it. It was illustrated with a story for each of the points. And then I concluded and called for action, told the people to implement these ideas. So you can look at a business speech, you can look at a political speech, you can look at a speech to one of your children's school classes. Do the same thing. Think about, what is it I want to say? What are 3 points within it? How can I tell a story or give an example for each point? And they can be very short examples. And then conclude and ask the people to do something with what they just learned.